Yo, what's good, people? Just finished off The Doors, the self-titled record by The Doors. All right. It was good. It was a good listen. This is my overview, and I'm going to give a little rating. So by this point, the full commentary, song by song, should be upon this channel if you haven't checked it out already. First and foremost, yeah, 11 tunes. A lot of these songs were relatively short, which really pleases me. I like sub 3 minute songs. In all fairness, 2 to 3 minutes is probably optimal for me and this channel because it's not so short. I have to like do multiple songs in a video to make it substantial. And anything over 3 minutes, if it's like not a great tune and it doesn't connect to me, it can become a bit of a drag. So it's perfect time. Let's get into it. Atmosphere. There's a great atmosphere on this record. And the artwork amplifies that atmosphere. So the artwork, we see the members of the band shrouded in shadow. It's a very dark album cover. Mysterious. Alright? And it emphasizes the poetic nature of the lyrical content and the way the record is produced. We've got the instrumentation panned in our ears, all in different areas. We've got guitar to one side as to where it doesn't even bleed into the other side of the headphone. It's just completely here on our right hand side, and we've got the drum kit completely on the left hand side, and you rarely get that. You'll have the drum kit, you know what I mean, quite frontal, with the different bits and bobs spanning across the mix and the spectrum of sound. But this one, we've got quite an interesting production as far as the panning is concerned. Instrumentally, every member of the band does a fantastic job doing what they need to do. A lot of unique sound, a lot of unique ideas, very cohesive as a band. We don't really go off in a negative direction as far as the band's relationship is concerned on this track, on these tracks, and on this record. Really good. Jim Morrison's vocal is shrouded in reverb, somewhat distant in the mix, but bold. You can hear each and every word, for the most part, very coherently. Now, as far as the atmosphere is concerned, even when it comes to the more upbeat songs, when it comes to the toe tappers, something with a bit of energy, there is a very, very dark undercurrent with this record. This is something I've not really picked up on any album we've listened to as of so far. It sounds like a band's gone into the studio and, you know, recorded a record with a concept, with an idea in mind, and put a performance on record, right? That's generally the way I've been hearing these records. But with this record, there's a very dark undertone. There's an undercurrent of melancholy, of miserable and potentially evil energy on this record. I'm being honest, that's what I picked up on. And it makes it ever so interesting. You know, it makes it a great work of art because there is it's an enigma of audio experience, because we might have the circus clown keyboards going in with the guitars playing these beautiful melodic broken chords and the bass line playing. Well, that's where it comes in. Now the bass line, in contrast, might be playing this hypnotic, just repetitive boom, 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 through whichever means. The drum kit, fantastic. The drummer, great use of dynamics. Lyrical content, very poetic, not necessarily pop songwriting, very poeticized writing, which shouldn't contribute to the energy I feel, but the production sort of gives this dark, dull, and not dull in a negative way, but this you know, this I can't put a word to it. There's an undercurrent of energy on this record which goes contrast to some of the tonality of the songs we hear at times, where it still sounds like there's something going on. And that's what makes it really interesting a listen and really brilliant, you know. It's not an upbeat, happy, dance infused record, even though the drum beats and the bass lines and the keys might want you to feel that way. There is always this underlying energy, and I wonder if anybody else feels that way. Does anybody else feel that way? Jim Morrison's vocal performance, I don't know how young he was on this record. Somebody says 4 years after this record he was dead, so he might have been 23 years old on this record. Definitely a very mature voice on him, a mature vocal, very unique, brilliant sound. I wouldn't like to say I was listening to the remaster because there was no comment on it being a remaster. 67, I think this was put out. But the recording is incredibly clean. Really, really good production on this record. As far as the 60s are concerned, most definitely. And if I was going to rate this record, you know what? 60s music generally isn't for me. I'm not a big fan of the 60s, the energy of the 60s, and there is a disconnect from who I am and my influence as far as the 60s are concerned. My mother was big on the 80s, my dad a little more modern in the 90s, as far as music is concerned, and you know, whatever is modern on the radio and so forth. I didn't really take much influence from my grandparents musically because music didn't really play such a big part of their being, and because of that, the 60s comes with a bit of a disconnect for me. I have to just listen to the music as opposed to the feeling of, you know, my inner child doesn't scream in joy when I hear 60s music like when you know, the other sounds I got brought up listening to. But that being said, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. That being said, I'm going to give it 8 out of 10 because it doesn't outstay its welcome. Each and every song is unique in sound and all has a great sing-along value. A lot of bold lines, a lot of bold moments. She's a 20th century fox. Show me the way to the next whiskey bar. I'm a backdoor man. You know what I mean? Break on through to the other side. Come on, baby, light my fire. This is the end. It's not often I can listen to a record and have a look through the track list, see the title of the track, and be able to, you know, rephrase the melodic hook that comes alongside that. Great writing, great melody. That's why I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10, regardless as to whether I'm going to return to this record in due time or not. Because I think it's undeniable, it's a great record. And like I said, the undercurrent of energy that of dark energy that this album produces and sort of makes me feel, gives me an uncomfortable feeling, like I'm listening to something that's potentially going to harm me and my soul and my spirit. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10 because I got to respect that artistic enigma that I've just experienced. To make me feel and experience is a great showcase of artistic endeavour. And with that, I'm going to sign out, people. So if you want me to check out more doors, I will do. But that was the self-titled piece.